What's up, guys, and welcome back to my channel. And tonight I'm going to be talking about the movie It Comes at Night, which is directed by Trey Schultz and stars Joel Edgerton. And this is going to be a complicated movie review for me. Now, this movie is great. From beginning to end, I absolutely enjoyed watching this movie. But I was frustrated throughout this movie. And the reason being for that is the way the movie was marketed. So I saw the trailer for the first time, and I saw the poster in the trailer, and I was excited to watch this movie. I was like, yes, we're getting another great horror movie this year. Last year we had The Witch, which I absolutely loved, and we also had Don't Breathe, which I also thought was really good. So I was really excited to watch It Comes at Night, and I gotta say, it's not what I expected. It really isn't. The trailers for this movie are very misleading, and that's a problem. You go in expecting one movie, and then you come out watching a completely different movie. Now, the movie is great, and if you haven't seen the trailers for the movie yet, and if you are interested in watching the movie, then definitely don't watch the trailer. You need to go in this movie as blindly as possible. So, I was very conflicted watching this movie, but just ignoring all the frustration and everything, this movie is great. So I'm not going to talk much about the story because I don't want to go too much into spoiler territory. So basically, the movie is about two families living together in this post-apocalyptic world, and there's this infectious disease that's spread throughout the world. And that's it. That's all I'm going to say about the movie, because if I talk too much, it's going to go into spoiler territory. I really don't want to spoil anything from this movie because it's really good just to watch it on your own and experience it for yourself. So the good things about the movie are the acting is absolutely phenomenal in this movie. The dialogue was really great. The discussions between certain characters felt real to me. It was very realistic portrayal of two families living together and what they do with their lives. And the last 15 to 20 minutes of this movie were absolutely powerful. Like, I literally was shaking in my seat. I couldn't take my eyes off the screen once the credits were rolling. It was just a very shocking scene. And even the opening to this movie is really well done. And there are very strong horror elements in this movie. It is a horror movie, and there is some disturbing imagery in this movie, and I absolutely loved every bit of it. It does have the typical, jump scare horror cliches in it, but they were effective. I really didn't see them coming, and it's just how it was filmed that made an impact on me. So I did jump a couple times. But the problems with the movie are, so when I'm watching a movie, I don't typically like to be spoon-fed a ton of exposition, and that was one problem I had with The Mummy. Like, it just had too much exposition to it. And this movie doesn't really have that. But there are questions in this movie that don't really get answered. We're left wondering, well, what happened to the world? Or what happened to a certain character? And they don't really give us answers to those questions, and it's a disappointment. And if it wasn't really for how well the movie was filmed, or the interesting interactions between certain characters, then that would have been a big problem. Because if you're not interested in the characters, you're not interested in the story, then this movie would have just failed miserably. But luckily, the characters are very likable, and that was something I really liked about the movie. Like, I was very enticed at watching certain characters talk to each other. Another problem with I had in the movie is there's a lot of dream sequences in this movie, and you can usually tell when this is about to happen. And that was an issue for me because a lot of the horror elements, all of the disturbing imagery, it's in the dream sequences. So that's really like where you get all your horror from. But it wasn't a big issue for me. I mean, they were still very effective. It's just there were way too many of them. And it was kind of like their way of just like, keeping the movie going. So overall, the acting is phenomenal, the story is interesting, and this movie is pretty unpredictable at times. But the problem is there's an unnecessary amount of dream sequences in it, and there's questions that don't get answered. And I really would like for you guys to, talk to me and tell me what, like, if you've already seen the movie, tell me about what you thought about this movie, because I really want to talk about somebody with this movie and kind of go into spoiler territory. So I might do a video where I actually do go into spoiler territory. But anyways, if I was to give this movie a rating, I would give it an 8.5 out of 10. It's a great movie. I highly recommend you guys watching it. Just skip the trailers if you haven't already seen the trailers. So that's my review of It Comes at Night. And if you guys have any comments or suggestions, leave them down in the comment box below. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, then definitely subscribe. I plan on putting new videos out every week. And like always, I hope you guys have a wonderful night.